Yeah, what's up? This Disciple Marcello Kearns, reign back up in this anti-America all day. So, so this video basically is going to be about real equality, and because it's a timely message moving forward. Because, like I established, there are states of hypocrisy that the country is in. You got to look up this. You got to look up the definitions of things, because if you don't look up the definition of things, what happens is everybody put their own definition on stuff, and that's what's going on. Oh no, that's this. Oh no, that's that. Well, can you prove it by definition? I can prove everything I'm saying by definition. So when I say it's a state of hypocrisy, a season of hypocrisy that's in America, it's not based off of my opinion. It's based off of definition. See, half the stuff that's coming out of these people's mouth, what it's based on? Opinion, right? No definition. Even when they calling people pedophiles, it's opinions, ain't it? Well, where's the definition? Because the definition of a pedophile is someone that is engaged, that is an adult that's engaged with a child. Where's that definition at? We don't see it, do we? That's what I'm talking about. And that's why I got to do a video about that. Definitions versus opinions. Because everything I'm saying about you is definition. Everything you're saying about people like me is opinions, which everyone has one, as we know. Okay? Okay? But you don't have any definitions, do you? Therefore, in an intellectual world, we cannot take you seriously because you don't have any definitions. You can't define no one as you choose to by opinion. I can define you based off of my definitions, and ain't nothing you can say. And all you walking around looking like is a goofy teenager with an opinion. A worm teenager with an opinion. I got definitions over here. That's what grown men and women have. And you're in a state of hypocrisy. And I'm going to show you how. Okay? You got all this killing that's going on from the black community. You got all the killing. Look, I don't care about no holidays. Listen, every day I'm keeping it 100. Every day. Listen, I don't take no days off. In fact, it's the best day to tell the truth. The day when you think when you're taking pride in yourself, that's the best day to tell you the truth. Okay? You got all this killing of these kids out here, but everybody want to go run and talk about what the police doing. You want to talk about what the police is doing to you, but you don't take the time to take and put serious time. I'm not talking about them little campaigns in the past of stop the violence and all of that. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the community collectively just as turned up as they are about these police out here shooting people. Because if you're not that responding, then you're in a state of hypocrisy, because it's so much killing that's going on daily in the black community that if you turn a blind eye to that and be hollering over here about police shootings, that's a state of hypocrisy. I know you didn't think it was, did you? You thought you had the luxury of doing that without a definition. You know what the definition is? When you do that, you got to take the definition. And unfortunately, if the definition is not good, and it can bring, and it's to an extreme, it can bring repercussions. So this definition of hypocrisy can bring repercussions. You cannot be in a state of hypocrisy running around here thinking it's all good. And nobody don't even have to touch you. All I'm doing as a prophet is showing you it's now judgment time. Because you sat around secretly like we didn't know, like I didn't know. That you were sitting back watching, trying to see if somebody had some kind of feelings towards you, or trying to feel like trying to see where someone's heart at. Won't you go see where your community's heart at for why they killing each other so much? The thing that you become desensitized to. See, you're used to America and all these other people saying, well, yeah, it's going to be all right. All that killing going on out there, but it's going to be all right. Ow. All that killing out there, but it's going to be all right. You sure about that? You sure it's going to be all right? You sure it's going to be all right with all these killing the kids out there? While everybody talking about pedophiles and you got kids out there getting killed. See, I have a problem with that. Yeah, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with people talking about pedophiles, but then you can clearly see the worst thing happen to kids in America is the kids being killed by gun violence in the black community. And see, I know this isn't cool to talk about, but it's cool to talk about what the police do, though, ain't it? It's cool to talk about that, though. But it's not cool to talk about the worst thing that's happening to the kids. But it's cool to talk about this police killing. Oh, they'll listen to that all day. They'll listen to that all day long. But it's not cool to talk about this, is it? And that's a state of hypocrisy. That's a state of hypocrisy, I'm telling you. And if a prophet of God ain't telling you that, then you don't have no real prophet of God. Because a real prophet of God does not come telling you, oh, I see a blessing in the future. I see blessings for America. The prophet of God, if you study the scriptures, comes and corrects character. When David killed Uriah for his wife, Bathsheba, when he did that, when King David, he was a king. The prophet Nathan came and corrected him and showed the king that all the things that would happen to him. So in my opinion, the prophet is higher ranking than the king. Why if you're so high ranking, then why, if as the king, then why the prophet had to come correct you then? In the first place. And how does he have authority over you if you're more high ranking than the prophet? How is he going to tell you what's going to happen to you? That's why I keep telling people, don't call me, I'm not a king. I am a prophet. A prophet is more higher ranking than a king. That's how you know it's satanic. See, the devil tries to give you a lower level than you really are. That's a 7 hour. Yeah, you think it's cool to be calling me a king, but I'm higher ranking than that. So now you see why I got a problem with it. Because I am higher ranking than a king. And now you see why you're in trouble. Again, the prophet Nathan came and corrected the king. He came and corrected the king. King David told him that the sword won't depart from his house. I'm paraphrasing. That the sword won't depart from his house. He had all kind of killing and everything in his family after that, after the prophet came to him. I'm not the smartest man in the world, but to me, that if someone comes to tell us the king what's going to happen to his family, what's going to happen to him, etc., that person is more higher ranking. And that's why you don't need to call me a king. You don't need to try to call me anything. All you need to do is listen to what I'm telling you. That's what you need to do. You need to stop talking and let me do the talking. You've done enough talking anyway. Talking about this and talking about that, talking about things you don't know nothing about. This country is in a state of hypocrisy. You've gotten so laxed with it that you think it's all good. Oh, yeah. You know, all this killing going on out here. God going to do something about it. He sure is going to do something about it. And guess what? He's going to do something about it quicker than you realize. He's going to do something about it quicker than you have realized. And it's not going to be in your favor. It's not going to, listen, you're not going to like it. Because see, in the black community, you've been taught, oh, it's, you know, that you're original man. And with this complex, you think you can go around and just do anything you want to do. And there's no repercussions that comes to you. You have not considered the magnitude of the killing that you've been doing and what is going to happen to you. Nothing's supposed to happen, right? Nothing should happen. All these killings. Let me ask you that question. What should happen? What exactly should happen to you? With all the killing of these kids, what would you think would be, if you was God, what would be the proper punishment? I'm asking you the question. I'm asking you the question. What would be the proper punishment? And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to show you. See, you don't even got a proper punishment laid out for yourself for what you're doing. But guess what? You got a proper punishment laid out for the police, don't you? Oh, if I tell you that, you can tell me what to do with the police and everything. In fact, you say you don't care about their life and they can just go ahead and die. Huh? But when it comes to you, there is no proper punishment, is there? You don't have a proper punishment for what should happen for these kids being killed out here, do you? You got no proper punishment, do you? You have nothing in your mind that should happen as a result of all these kids and people being killed in the black community. Nothing should happen. What do you suggest happens? And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. And that right there, my friends, is called a state of hypocrisy. That's a season of hypocrisy. I'm not trying to make a little clickbait message. This ain't a clickbait message. This is real. I'm not trying to make some catchy little new Christian message for you to latch on to. This is real. And I'm proving it by definition. Not opinion. By definition, you're in a state of hypocrisy. By definitions, you are in a season of hypocrisy. No, you don't just get to do that and then say it and then define it as what? What do you define that as? Listen, everything should be able to be defined in the dictionary. What do we define the black killing, the black children being killed? What do we define that as? What is that? What is the definitions you would put on that? Now you see what I'm saying. You left it all alone and you left it to be, and you were biased about it. And it's went unchecked so long, you don't realize what's going on. You don't realize the state that we're in. You're in a state of hypocrisy. A season of hypocrisy. And this is so that you understand that with all the moving, the progression of the community and the culture, you're still in a state of hypocrisy. You're also in a state where we can't deliver you out the ghetto because the mentality is too thick in the ghetto to kill each other. So if I take you out the ghetto and put you in a new neighborhood that's more quality, what's going to happen? So you can't deliver black people right now. I'm talking about today. See, the thing about it, a lot of people, they don't even believe in their own deliverance. You know how I know? Because you're not getting yourself together, first of all, for deliverance. You aren't getting your people together for deliverance. How are you ready for it then? How? To make it make sense. And if you was ready for it, you would be able to talk about it in plain English. You would be ready for it today. You're not ready for it today. If we pull all these black people and put them in a fresh neighborhood today, what the first thing is going to happen is crime. I give it 3 months. 3 months of peace. After 3 months, everybody's going to be back to normal, thinking back to normal, drama back to normal. You're not ready for deliverance today. And therefore, it's just a hopeful wishing, and you just have this mindset that one day, that's all it is. One day, and I'm talking about today. See, that's the difference between a revolutionary, a visionary, and someone that is truly real about this. I'm bringing it into reality by showing you what would hold you back in reality. You haven't even brought it into reality. You haven't even brought your own deliverance into reality, because first thing first, you would be correcting your people to get them ready for the reality of deliverance. So nobody's ready for deliverance because no one's taking the first steps in reality. So therefore, who do you take serious? These people sitting around talking about information? And that's no disrespect to certain names out there. But the bottom line is most people are just spewing out information. You're not, the main thing right now that needs to be done, if you are a person, I'm dedicated to God, right? But if you are a person that's dedicated to the black community and you don't know God, there's many people like that. Your first mission is to get the people ready for deliverance, not all this irrelevant information. You waste years and years and years. I've seen it. Years of people wasting time on irrelevant issues, irrelevant things. Right now, racism. Let me tell you. Let me help you understand something. Racism is never going to leave because human nature is going to always be hateful with someone they don't understand, or people that are different. It's never going to leave. You can stop the culture of it, but you can't make everybody love you. It's impossible. That's not something you should even set out to do. Therefore, racism, if it's not physically affecting your community to a significant amount above what you're doing to yourself, then all you're doing is wasting time talking about irrelevant issues. The most important issue you need to be talking about is getting your own people together, ready to leave the ghetto. And also making African government that is able to rule over the evil and the good, which means they chastise their own people, and African leadership is not ready to do that. So African leadership is not ready to rule either today. If I gave you an African government today, can you rule today? No, you cannot. You cannot rule today. I'm talking in real plain English. If I gave you a government today, you cannot rule today because you do not judge the evil in your own community properly. You let murders go unsolved where kids have been killed. How can you rule over a government? A government has to rule over the evil as well, not just over the good. You got black leaders that just want to rule over the good. You don't want to rule over the evil. Now you see what I'm saying. They don't want to rule over the evil. You just want to rule over the good. This isn't an angry message. This is a message. This is a prophetic message. This is what a prophet would tell you. In America, you don't know no better. You've been listening to these prophets talking about, I see a Bentley. I see a Bentley, and I see you driving a Bentley in 2025. That's what you listening to. Yeah, I see you driving a Bentley. Sounds almost like a psychic to me. Because see, they're psychics and have foresight. There's seers. There's people that have foresight. We ain't talking about foresight people. Where the prophet comes and tells you what God wants to say. The prophet comes on the behalf of the Holy Supreme Being, telling you what is right and what is wrong. This is the part of the prophet that no one has decided to be. And if you were truly a prophet, you wouldn't be able to help yourself, because the heaviness of God's power and his work and his holiness would be convicting you and compelling you to drive in this direction that I'm talking about. You would have to go in this direction. And now we see that we have many false prophets. Because if you was a prophet and you was up under God and you was hearing from God, because a prophet is the one that hears from God. Okay, thus saith the Lord. That's what the prophet is all about. Saying what God has said. Okay, so what you think God's saying to all this stuff going on? Oh, do better, just like these celebrities saying. Now you see what I'm saying. Time is catching up with you. With all this killing, time has now caught up with you. It caught up with you. It caught up with you. You thought it was, you kept ignoring it. You kept ignoring it over and over again. Yes, you did. You kept ignoring it. And all you can do is sit back and act nicely. And that's not going to be good enough. That's not going to make it right. That's not going to make it right. It's not going to make it right. Okay? This is serious business. You cannot sit up and be in a state of hypocrisy and think you're going to do anything in a state of hypocrisy. It's not going to work. And the real reason there has not been any deliverance is because people have not understood spiritual principles. We live in a spiritual universe. How you think you're going to do it with money? You live in a spiritual universe. All the dimensions are not tangible, right? There's so many dimensions that are not tangible. How are you going to win tangibly fighting all these racist people with all these dimensions that are not tangible? And this is why true deliverance have not come, and everybody else is not in the ghetto. No one else is in the ghetto. Not like black people. But yet everybody's coming here and living here. And so the truth is that the deliverance cannot come by natural means, as the black leaders have done in the past. They got up in front of, and no disrespect, MLK got up and he talked about doing things, and that was like a tangible manifestation. Malcolm X did the same thing. He came out, he spoke in a tangible way and talked about tangible things, not too many spiritual things. Malcolm X didn't talk about too many spiritual things to the masses. MLK didn't talk about spiritual things too much to the masses. So you have to, you're forced to put them in a tangible box. Therefore, really, you have had no one to come to you and deliver you spiritually. Because every time we get someone that's spiritual, that's black, he doesn't know how to deliver his people. He doesn't know how to multitask spiritually. He goes and he preaches, he or she goes and preaches, and they go and they preach, and they don't look at the need for deliverance. And so they think it's a one-size-fit-all situation. Well, if I can talk to you and preach to you, you're going to be delivered. You sure about that? With the government and all of this going on? You sure that it's going to take just you giving them scriptures and Christian principles? No, this is no disrespect. You're talking to the prophet now. But how are you going to ignore all that the government is doing and all these pitfalls and all of that? And how are you not going to switch your spirit, your formation to where now you feel like you need to deliver them from a government and from a system. If you do not acknowledge it in that way, it's not going to happen, because your faith components, your faith needs to be formatting these components in this manner so that they can come out. It's no way you're going to do it without acknowledging it, which means you have to acknowledge first that they're in captivity. Okay, so now you acknowledge as a spiritual leader that they're in captivity. Now your faith has to rise up for them all to be delivered. And this is where people lack faith. And then you have to teach the people according to deliverance. Now you see what I'm saying, which is all by faith. You have to teach them according to deliverance. So now that their life, their spiritual life is in position. Their life is in position, like I'm talked about. So now you can deliver them out the ghetto, because now they're in a good spiritual condition. But if you made no blueprint to do such a thing, now you see what I'm saying. Even the preacher is not, listen, even the preacher is not making it realistic for black people to be delivered. That's a 7 hour. Oh, the preacher ain't doing it. Listen, the preacher is not making deliverance for all black people real. Because the first step is you got to begin to do the groundwork on getting their spirit right. So if when they get delivered out the ghetto, now you ain't going to go back to it. You ain't going to gravitate back to it, because now your spirit has changed. Your spiritual quality has changed. Your spiritual state has changed. So so now you're going to be free. But how can that happen if the preacher doesn't have the blueprint? If the preacher is not going in that direction? The preacher is only, most of them are only showing you to stick with America. They're insinuating it. We're not with them. They're not helping you. And the only way you're going to get the spiritual deliverance, the only way you're going to get the real deliverance is through spirituality. This is why they're still there, because it's a spiritual war. That's why. And you got to address it and treat it as a spiritual war, with everyone realizing that the only way we're going to be delivered is not by shooting it out with the government. It's too many of them. It's too many. It's too much of a military. How are you going to beat the whole military? The only way you're going to beat the whole military, the National Guard, and all these different branches of the military of America that has no intentions of letting you free. They let Mexicans go free. They let everybody else go free. You don't see no Mexican ghettos, do you? Well, don't you? Now, I'm not the smartest man in the world, but if Mexican ghettos, with all these Mexican people here, wouldn't it be bigger Mexican ghettos if there was real Mexican ghettos? There isn't any, are there? Okay, then. So they got government funded programs to save them from the ghetto. They ain't got none of that for you, do they? That's what I'm talking about. And their track record for being here is younger than yours. And then they got programs for them to get out the ghetto. Cause you tell me where all these illegal aliens and all these illegal immigrants, you tell me where all of them are going. Ain't nobody stupid. And they just did that right in your face, and you the only one there. You can't beat them physically. You have to beat all these military and all these police spiritually. This is how we've been going about it, getting a little gun and thinking and feeling the power of a gun and thinking that means we're gonna do something. You ain't gonna do nothing. The only way you're gonna be delivered, you have to face it. God does not make himself useless in any society, in generation. And that's what you're not realizing. You act like God is an option. You act like God is an option. God is no option, buddy. He doesn't make himself unnecessary in any generation, in any time in history. Any time in history, God, at all times of history, God is necessary. And look, that's the only way you're going to get delivered. It may seem old-fashioned to you, but keep in mind, God is in the future already. See, religion teaches you God is in the past. Spirituality teaches you God is in the future. You'll get it later. You'll get it later. You'll get it later. God is not an option. What I got to get black people to first understand is stay away. I'm not saying don't go to church. Do not forsake the assembling of yourselves together as the manner of some is, as the Bible says, right? But these days, with the state of the church, God has mercy. I promise you that, on people that withdraw from these whack churches, these hypocritical churches, these watered down churches. I know God is having mercy because God understands his true people, that if there was a place where his presence was and it was falling and everything and the glory of God was everywhere and no one was focused on politics and everybody was focused on God's presence, God's people wouldn't be able to stay away from that. You know what they stand away from? All these politics where the Christians are even working with the streets and working with the police. You think I'm gonna go in a church house these days? When listen, a spiritual leader like me, you think I'm gonna go step into a church house when I know you already done talked to the preachers? Oh man, I ain't stupid. You already done talked to them. The police did, or the community did. Which one? Or both? And so you're gonna play all kind of psychological games if I go to church, aren't you? Oh, come on, stop playing with me. That's a 7-hour. Yeah, you've been waiting for it, and you ain't seen me arrive, did you? Because I was already ready for it. Listen, man, I'm a last day soldier, spiritual soldier out here, bro. You ain't, listen, you ain't going to be able to play no more games with me. That's why it all stopped. That's why I stand in the house. Because, listen, ain't no more games going to be played with me. And so by the next time I step out there and you play a game, you see the difference, don't you? There's heavier repercussions, don't you? Isn't it? Because my spirit is totally removed. So anything that you do is coming back instantaneously. Ain't nobody playing no games. I'm too far removed from your community now. And it's a good thing. I'm more relevant. You think I'm losing relevancy. I'm not losing relevancy. Ow. Oh, because I'm not interacting with these bozos? Because I'm not interacting with these clowns? You can't be serious. I'm actually more relevant because I'm more connected to the solutions of what needs to happen right now, while half of these people out here, you ain't connected to no solutions. So who's more relevant? Oh, because you know what's going on in the music industry. You're more relevant than me. I'm more relevant to you because I've looked at the state of the country as it is right now, and I've adjusted myself. That makes me more relevant. And you're more irrelevant because of your blindness and your dumbness. And listen, another example of that is you thinking that nothing is going to happen with all this black on black killing out here. You don't think nothing going to happen, do you? Because you got comfortable and biased about it. And you think God is comfortable about it? You think God is biased about it? See, time has caught up to you and you don't want to accept it. You don't want to accept it. Time has caught up with you. That's all it is. And now you're sitting here trying to say, oh, God have mercy. No, no, listen. God doesn't work like that. You don't listen. Don't insult God. Don't insult God. You wait until the last minute talking about God have mercy. You wait until the last minute talking about God. Listen, I'm not playing no games with anybody. This is real. So in the last days, in all this, everybody admits this last day. So what's supposed to happen? So what kind of chastisement is supposed to happen for all the killing that's going on? If this is the last days. Oh, God's just going to ignore all the killing that's going on. He's just going to ignore that. Unfortunately, my friend, a true prophet of God will tell you God is not going to ignore that, buddy. The Bible says God is no respecter of persons. That's what the Bible says. It doesn't matter. It doesn't say, oh, but the chosen people, God is a respecter of them. The true Hebrews, God is a respecter of them. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. God is a respecter of the African Hebrew tribes. Does it say that? It says God is no respecter of persons, including you. And that's what puts the real fear of God in you, knowing that it doesn't matter who you are or what you do. If you do not follow the true spiritual principles, you are in danger. And so, see, you got problems on your own, don't you? You got problems on your own. People talking about the streets is watching, the kingdom of God is watching. That's what you need to worry about. Yeah, you need to worry about the kingdom of God watching, because the kingdom of God is watching every little thing you do. Everything in this building that's being done, everything being done in this neighborhood, everything being done, the kingdom of God is watching. And guess what? Guess what? There's going to be a response. And your arrogance of the black community has become the arrogance similar to the white man. The white man sit up and, you want me to show you how? And I got to do a video about this too. The arrogance of black people have finally caught up to the arrogance of the white man. The arrogance of black men have finally caught up to the arrogance of white men. Yes, it has. You go about killing black people. That's what the white man did. Like there's nothing going to happen to you for doing that. The white man went about arrogantly killing black people like it's all good. Like as if it was the new fashion. Black people now are doing it with hip hop attached to it like it's some new fashion to kill black people. It's trending, ain't it? Okay? Black people think nothing can't happen to them. You can't tell them nothing. They hide their sins. That's what the white man did. You can't tell the white man nothing. Like he above the law and he hides his sin. You can't, if you try to correct the white man, what happens? Now you see, you've become just as arrogant as the white man. You try to correct the white man, what do? He send people against you, don't he? What the black people doing? As soon as you start talking, what they do? They send people against you, don't they? You telling me that ain't the same thing the white man been doing? You think you look at it as you have become more sophisticated. You have not become more sophisticated. You have become just as arrogant as the white man has. You cannot receive proper chastisement. Soon as somebody say something against you, you're jumping up like the white man did. Well, go look back at history. Go look back at history. Because see, a real man can take correction. If you telling me something right about myself, I can take the correction. But if you're wrong, I'm gonna make sure you know that you're wrong. And you know, nobody's perfect, but a lot of times, man, you know, with a great leader, hey, you can't find any true big flaws. You're looking for them, but you can't find them, can you? It doesn't make me perfect, but you can't find them, can you? You can't find no big flaws, can you? And that's what we're talking about. See, you just thought you would be able to do what you want to do forever, and it didn't work like that. You got the arrogance of the white man now. Go look back at history, how he was. Go look back at history. Soon as black people spoke out against the white man. Go look at your way. Look at how your ways are so similar to his. Soon as you spoke out. This is why many leaders, black leaders, were killed. Soon as they spoke out against what the white tribe was doing. They were marked for death. Soon as we speak out about the black on black killing, you want smoke. You look at it as we're defending ourselves. No, how you defending yourself against the truth? There is no defense against the truth. There is no defense. I ain't telling you nothing wrong. So therefore, in true art of war, there is no defense. You just have to become better. And you resisted that. Therefore, listen, you're in the state that you're in, of pride, thinking you can go to war, just like the white man. You do not want to accept it, but you're doing everything that the white racist people have done. You're killing each other. You're killing black people. That's what the white man was doing. Look at it for what it is. He was killing black people every day, all the time, right? He was the most frequent tribe doing that. Who's most frequent with killing you now? Black people. Look at the arrogance. You can't even step on their shoes. Wasn't the white man like that? Get out of my way, nigga. Can't you see I'm sitting here? Slap you all around for stepping on the shoes. Halfway think you did it on purpose. You did that on purpose. Find out where that nigga lives at. Can't even look at the women. You remember how they treated black Emmett Till? Emmett Till couldn't even look at couldn't even talk to the women. Look how arrogant black people is now. You can't even look at them without them saying something to you, can they? Oh, the white man wasn't like that. What you looking at, nigga? You got a problem? You have become so arrogant where you think people can't even look at you. That's just how the white man was. You have finally caught up to his arrogance, and you do not want to accept it. You're no better than him. And you're not here in America because you're killing your own people. How are you better than him? As far as your state of being, how is your state of being better than his? Listen, I know rappers and hip hop is going to run from this message because, see, what you got to understand about the rappers, it's convenient for them to run from the message because they need you to make the money. Well, you got to come to their shows. How they going to turn against you? Look at it from a business point of view. You are their assets. The culture people, whether it be movies, music, you are their assets. You are their sheep that they fleece. So why in the business sense, why would you step on the toes of those who you're fleecing? I'm not fleecing you. So I don't care what you do. I don't care if you support me or not. So that's why many rappers and entertainers are going to stand by you because you are their sheep. Boy, that's good. That's a 7th hour. You explain it any other way. They're crash with everybody else. They don't care about everybody else. Even killing their own people. The rappers. But they kind of cool with you, right? Because they got to fleece you. That's why. They got to fleece you monthly. They got to fleece you annually. So I gotta be kind of cool with the asset to the business. Because you think people loving you and they got to make money off of you. That's what it boils down to, buddy. So many people can't stand you. They just got to make money off of you. And you're flattering yourself in your present state, thinking people love you, and they really don't. They got to fleece you and get money off of you. At the end of the day, how can you go out here talking and speaking your mind like I do, and you know you got to get money off these people? You can't do it. You can't do it. That's why that's why people say respect the shooter. No, you respect the messenger, the prophet that speaks unbiasedly about all of this. Because I don't get no money off of you. I'm not getting anything from this. I'm doing the work of God. Okay? Now, God may want me to receive, right? But you know what I mean. It's not no audience that I'm getting money from. So when you take away that, what do you have? See, you've been simple-minded too long. Okay, people out here, these leaders, of course they're gonna act like we all together because they need your money. Of course they're gonna act like that. But where do you really see we all are together? Where do you see it at? Where do you really see we're all together? You don't see it, do you? That's what I'm saying. All you see is people making you laugh and making you and giving you emotions and entertaining you so they can fleece you. You get close enough so they can fleece you. Well, to get close enough to them, they got to get the money, and that's the fleece. If you go to the shows, that's the fleecing. Okay? So you got to understand that. You think it's love? Stop supporting and see what happens. Stop giving money. I guarantee you, and half of the people from the streets too, I guarantee you they'll look at you differently. Hey, stop putting money in their pocket. I bet you, how much you want to put on it, they'll look at you differently. I guess we'll never know, will we? Because you keep putting money in their pocket, and you think they love you. Anybody love you when you give them money? Anybody. The significant amount of money you giving them, you make somebody rich, they gonna love you. So you don't even really know who love you, do you? But one thing we do know for sure, if you love somebody enough, you'll tell them the truth, won't you? Well, you tell your children the truth, don't you? Whether it hurts or not. Because you love them enough, you don't want to walk around stupid, do you? So this is what it boils down to, man. This is what it boils down to. Realizing you cannot be out here talking about equality. You can't be talking about equality and then you don't practice equality. You're telling the police not to kill you. You know what equality really is? Equality is everybody's equal, which means I'm going to talk about the police equally. I'm going to talk about black people equally as much as I talk about police. That's equality. Your definition of equality is we're all treated the same, but when it comes to what white people do and what the police and authorities do, we don't really want no equality with how we approach them. We're not going to equally approach no one else like that. We ain't gonna approach black people like we approach white people about this killing out here. So is it real equality? See, your definition of equality, you need to check. Because if we can't talk about what black people are doing to black people, but we can talk about what police are doing to black people. If we can't talk about how certain positions of the Mexican, Hispanic, and Latino community, they side with certain people in the black community, but they never make it to the righteous people. Oh yeah, boy, that's a 7 Al. Yeah, you with the culture crowd. Half of you Mexicans are with the culture crowd. You're with the culture people. You're with the hip hop people. You have not truly, tribally speaking, have made it to the back of the tribe where you're now talking to the righteous. You're not talking to the righteous Africans. You're talking to hip hoppers. You're talking to rappers. So someone like me wouldn't even respect you because you haven't made it to the back of the village where you're talking to the righteous. You're talking to hip hop and rappers, and that's who you side with when they start talking. When we go to, because see, you don't understand, and many of you preachers don't understand, that there is the righteous African tribe and the wicked African tribe. In Spanish, like, what do you mean? The righteous African tribe and the wicked African tribe. Yes, we're not all one and the same. We got two empires here in America as far as black people. Wicked black people and righteous black people. You got two different types of black people. We're not all together. But who you're going to side with is the culture black people, because that's all you see. You have not went to the back of the African tribe to find the righteous prophet who tells you truly what to stand with if you stand with African. So that's how you know who's really with the Africans or not. If you got these Hispanics out here fighting for equality for black people, but you haven't even listened to the righteous Africans who preserve African lives, but you stand with people that's in a culture that kills black people through culture. They teach killing. You're not with black people. You're with the wicked African tribe. You're not with the collective African tribe. No, you're not. No, you're not. You think you are. And I don't care how much of the culture you know. That doesn't represent us. Okay? That represents the white man and his perspective of us. Running around wild like animals, jumping around, killing each other. That's how he wants us projected. He don't want you projected as some intelligent, competent man telling him his wrong and what he's doing wrong. He don't want none of those images out there. So you just as ignorant as everybody else, thinking you helping black people, and you standing behind a culture that does not preserve our lives. And therefore, and you sit there and thinking you with the real black people, don't you? You ain't with no real black people. You with house Negroes serving white agenda. That's who you with. Now you see how stupid you look. Now you see how stupid you look, sitting around smoking loud, listening to hip hop, thinking you down with black people. You're down with the foolish culture that has been destroying us. That's what you down with. And I will only salute, if it was me, I will only salute the Mexicans that can see that and stand with righteous Africans. If you're not doing that, you kind of a clown. You kind of a clown. You kind of are a clown because you're just standing with the culture, things that you see on TV. That's corny, man. When you have not thought, this does not preserve black lives. I'm not the smartest man in the world, but I look at this and I know this is not helping the black community. But you still think you're being black by standing with it, don't you? You still think you're being black by standing with it, don't you? And that's what I'm saying. I just smirk at people like you because you think you standing with black people because you with a big booty black girl. And you with a couple dudes with dreads and y'all walking around together and you think you standing with black people. No, you standing with the culture, buddy. That's what you standing with. Something that's been destroying us from the 80s. It ain't been right since the 80s, since crack cocaine and all of that, and then all the music and all of the stuff that came in projected it. And it tried to show the problems, but really people wanted to become more of the problem, more of the dope dealing, more of the drug dealing, the killer. None of those projections where it had this moral of the story to stop selling drugs and to stop shooting, it didn't have that effect on the black community. It appealed and people wanted to become the drug dealer more. Right or wrong? Yeah, people made attempts. You made attempts to make black movies to show the detriments of the black street life, but it wasn't perceived that way. Go look at how it was perceived. You know how it was perceived? Everybody want to be Nino Brown. That's how it was. Everybody want to be Cash Money. Huh? Everybody want to be G Money and Nino Brown. Or what's the other one? Rome off of Sugar Hill. Or Old Dog. Who you want to be? Old Dog, don't you? shooting crackheads for cheeseburgers. Or no, maybe you want to be MC8, the OG sitting back watching everybody do stuff. No disrespect, but everybody walked away from these movies taking the villain's perspective, taking the drug dealer perspective. They didn't walk away from it like, oh, that sure is a shame. Maybe the first time you seen it. Hey, maybe the first time you seen it. After that, what happened? You ain't think about that, did you? Oh, it hit home the first time, but the second time you liked it, you kind of was feeling the old dog, wasn't you? Hey, come on, man, just be real. We always like that. You kind of considered yourself old dog. Considering the culture, considering everything, the world, considering everything, you considered yourself old dog. Many times I say I'm the spiritual old dog. Cause listen, I ain't taking nothing off nobody, buddy. And I'm always strapped up. But the difference between me and you, I feel that going out there and doing things the way you doing it, listen, man, that ain't gonna get nowhere, man. It's hopeless. You come out better trying to do it by spiritual means. You come out better trying to do it God's way. Because it ain't going out there, all these people shooting and everything going on. How you gonna get anything done? You ain't gonna get nothing done. You ain't gonna get nothing done, man. And listen, soon money is gonna change. That's the next step. You trust so much in the American dollar. This is something black people don't really know. On the ground level, you trust so much in cash money, and they were just now didn't they just hit a debt ceiling? And you still out here trusting in cash money, ain't you? So what happens if cash money leaves? Because at the end of the day, guess what? You subconsciously depending on these white folks to make it all work out, ain't you? You depending on them to do their job to make it all work out so the cash money still be valuable, right? So the American dollar, the USD still be valuable. You got to depend on them. You ain't doing it. So you depending on them to keep your dollar valuable. Good luck with that. They just hit a debt ceiling. They barely got past that. So you're not paying attention. And sooner or later, it's all going to come falling down like a house of cards. Because you don't want to admit that America has done too much to turn back. But back to equality. You can't come out. This is something that probably only the prophet is going to tell you. Only the prophet is going to tell you this. Because no one else is going to do it. No one else is going to sacrifice their career to tell you the truth. No one else is going to sacrifice their livelihood with the black community to tell you the truth. They're not going to tell you the truth. Y'all say y'all awake. You ain't awake on yourself, killing each other. Come on, man. You can't be serious. You half awake, but not all awake. If you was all awake, then you would realize, listen, we can't even get out the ghetto like this. Let's take it a step further. That's all I'm saying. Don't have tunnel vision. Let's take it a step further. Let's have real faith. You know what real faith is? Okay, let's say we all get out the ghetto. That's real faith, right? You don't got none of these leaders hoping that for you, do you? When the last time you heard of black leaders talking about everybody get out the ghetto? When have you heard it? That's what I'm asking. They lack faith. God has done it before. But then everybody say they're a reverend. Everybody say they're a preacher. But where's your faith to get black people out the ghetto when God used Moses to deliver the Hebrews from Pharaoh? Nobody has that kind of faith. You know why? Because you've been reduced down to a worker. That's what it is. And while you're a worker, how can you be a ruler and a king? And it's a mentality that they made and put in you. You got to get away from it. Somebody got to get away from it enough to not feel like some slave. Your vibration has to come above it. And you ain't going to do it unless you come out of it. And somebody got to come out of it. That's why I don't care if you think I'm trifling. I don't care what you think about me, because at the end of the day, that slave working mentality, and I'm not saying everybody to get out here and work, but you know it is out there though. You know it is this mentality, like this is all you can do. Like you can't go no further than this. And you can watch all these people on TV, but all of us can't be like that, can we? Man, see, this is where I'm real at. This is because, see, these celebrities that get on TV talking about you all can pursue your dreams. All of us, literally all of us can go out there and get our dreams done. How they gonna have a million rappers out there? So if all these black folks wanted to be rappers, how they gonna have a million rappers out there, bro? What record companies is going to facilitate a million black rappers? It's a million black rappers right now in America. That's good. Many of them are good. I would say we have 334 million people, right, in America. There's at least a million solid, good black rappers. It's got to be. You think they all gonna have record deals? Come on, man. You don't want to be real, man. You think they all? It's some great producers. I guarantee you, it's 500,000 good super producers. 500,000 super producers out there with sounds you ain't never heard, right? You think they all gonna make it? It's not realistic, bro. It's not realistic for all of us to fit into some dream. Now you see what I'm saying, and I'm gonna do a video about this. You want see black people, the leaders will get up and try to get us all on the dream boat. Boom, that's it right there. That's a 7 hour. How all of us gonna get on a dream boat? Nah, I need to do a video about this. How we gonna all get on a dream? How we gonna all get on a dream boat where we all got these dreams coming to pass? Man, won't you stop lying and playing with these people? Ain't no way in the world all of us gonna get on no dream boat. Meaning all our dreams come true. All these dreams of being rappers and singers and all of that. That's what I'm really talking about. These famous vocations, these entertainment vocations. This how all of us gonna fit on a vocation boat. Boy, that's a 7 hour. How all these African Americans gonna fit on a vocation boat? All of us got these famous entertainment vocations. All of us gonna get on those boats. All the African Americans. All of us. It's not realistic. And check this part. You think them white folks gonna let us all get on that boat? Man, all them black people getting on that vocation boat doing them dreams. No. We gotta break this up. You don't think they'll do that? You don't think they'll find a way to break up a vocation boat? Listen, you ain't even got them on there yet. See, that's why I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to show you realistically the stuff that you talk about. I'm trying to pull you out of a dream mindset. It's one thing to dream, and it's one thing to be in a dream mindset. How in the world everybody gonna be on a dream boat? A vocation boat where all our dreams came true. This is a pipe dream. That's the word I was looking for. It's a pipe dream that these black famous people and black leaders have been feeding us, these pipe dreams that we all can get our dreams succeeded. We all can succeed in our dreams. We all can get on this dream boat where all our dreams come true. You see what I'm saying? And it sounds cool to be some little hero type guy talking about, hey kids, all your dreams can come true. Until you realize reality. And hold up, till they realize reality. They gonna realize it. You sitting up lying to them kids. I think it's cruel. I think it's cruel to tell all these people your dreams can come true. It's cruel. And it is also cruel that all our dreams can't come true. It's cruel, but it's a part of life. It's a part of life. All of us cannot become rappers, singers, and I'm not being racist or stereotypical when I say this. We all can't become rappers, singers, and get on these dream boats. So guess what we need? Guess what we need? What do we need then? What is the realistic dream for the African American? What's the real dream? What's real? What can really happen? We can get out the ghetto. That can happen. All this money, all this stuff going on, and you worried about being a rapper. Don't you see? Don't you see? Don't you see where you went wrong? You put your mind in the wrong place. You worried about everybody getting on the dream boat. And the first thing all these millionaires should have been thinking about, and billionaires, is getting black people out the ghetto. Because some people crippled. What you gonna tell the crippled guy? Yeah, you can be a rapper, man. Yeah, you got it. And he's a cripple. No, I'm being real. He's literally a cripple. He can't even walk. He's in a wheelchair, for crying out loud. And you're trying to tell him he can be a rapper. This is what I'm talking about, man. You know what I mean, man. And you're going around telling people stuff and you're trying to be nice and you know they ain't going to be on TV, man. You know that. So won't you be realistic and get them and let them have a good, nice life, right? And we get together and pull the money together. But you trying to get everybody on the same boat. Yes, you can get on this boat. And you know what? You should say, look, I'm ashamed of my past state of mind. I act like an ignorant black man that everybody can get on this boat because I'm on this boat. Like I'm an ignorant part. Everybody can get on. Come on. And I'm ashamed of that. That I projected like everybody can get on this dream boat, and I know how hard it was for me to get on this dream boat. You know how hard it was for you to maintain yourself. And now you're trying to act like, and you trying to act like everybody in the world can do it. Everybody and their mama can do it, and you barely did it. You barely did. You don't even know how you did it. That's why you're so grateful to God. You don't even know how it happened. When you look at everything that happened, you don't even know how it happened for you. How that's going to happen for everybody. Come on, man. Listen, you have to be realistic. The best thing you can do for black people, some black people don't want to be in the music. You ever thought about that? Some black people don't want to be out here supporting none of this stuff. They just want to have a nice place to live, good food, which that's what we all come home to anyway. If you're a rapper, a singer, or whatever, you come home to family, food, in a good place to live. That's what everybody really wants. Everybody don't want to be in the limelight. You trying to put everybody in the limelight. This is the limelight boat. Everybody, your dreams can come true. Everybody don't want to do that. So then what? We provide a land outside of the ghetto experience. This is what you should have been working on the whole time. You know what you've been doing? You've been preaching that dream boat to everybody. Wasting all this time. Now you see what I'm saying. Now you're awake for real. Because so what we supposed to do then? We supposed to wait for everybody to get on the dream boat. And then what? You know what you're going to do? If you get enough money, ultimately you're going to come to the same conclusion I come to. Everybody got to get out the ghetto. If you get enough money, what you going to do anyway? Get everybody out the ghetto, right? If you get enough money collectively, what are you going to do? Get everybody out the ghetto. Oh, what you going to try to do? If you get enough money, make everybody rappers? Think about what I'm saying, man. If you get enough money as a collective community, as black people, what you going to do with it? You're going to try to get everyone out the ghetto. All the chapters of the ghetto, you're going to try to eliminate and make black neighborhoods for black people. Right? You ain't going to try to put jerseys on everybody. Put jerseys on your aunties, put jerseys on your uncles, and try to make everybody rappers. So what are you going to do then? So what's the best thing to do collectively? Get everyone housing outside the ghetto. Now I'm giving you a vision. You know what the Bible says? Without a vision, the people perish. If you do not have a vision, you are not going to act accordingly to that vision. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to plan according to the vision. You're not going to do anything according to the vision. The vision has to have practices and formulas under it to make it real. So if you don't have no vision, you ain't going to have no principles. What sense was that make? Yeah, I got all these principles, but I ain't got nowhere to go with it. I ain't doing nothing with it. I ain't trying. I'm just doing all this stuff for no end result. I'm just doing this stuff. Just imagine that. And imagine everybody being singers and rappers and celebrities that's all black. Imagine us all doing that. Man, come on, make it make sense, man. Come on, man. So then what then? What is the better good? What is you trying to do for your people? You see? Now you see what I'm saying. And you see how unfocused everybody is. Because if you have been focused on, okay, what are we doing collectively for black people? Now you see what I'm saying. And we would have been way further down the road. But everybody trying to stick everybody on that dream boat. That's what got everybody messed up. Yeah, get on this dream boat. Your dreams can come true. Not everybody. Not everybody. Everybody ain't meant to be on that boat. Talking about secular things, talking about things that don't pertain to the living God. They're not meant to be on that boat. I had to realize it for me. I'm not meant to be on that boat. Don't feel sorry for me. I'm not meant to be on that boat. Because it was just too many snares and captivities. Someone had to see the bigger picture. All of us are still at the beginning point in the ghetto. While everybody else want to be rappers and go and leave their cities and be rappers. And think you putting on for the city. You ain't putting on for the city, you putting on for yourself. Well, how come your city's still in the ghetto? That's a 7 hour. How you putting on for your city and they still in the ghetto? Make it make sense, man. That ain't no disrespect to Jeezy. I'm just saying, man, because everybody want to say, oh, put on for the city. I'm putting on for the city. I'm putting on. Are you really putting on for the city? Are you putting on for yourself? You putting on for your family and yourself. That's what you doing. At the end of the day, you riding off and they still in the ghetto. Singing your songs while you speeding off. Putting on for the city. And they go back home in the ghetto and say, down, baby, we ain't got nothing but 2 pieces of chicken in here. Y'all ate up that rest of that chicken the other day. Putting on for the city. They still coming in the house talking about it. That's how half these black people go home, man, after they listen to your music. You know that, right? Have you ever thought about that? After they listen to your music, half of them sang your songs. They get in the house. Ah, man, roaches all over the food. I thought y'all was going to get that check today. Now they having real ghetto conversations. Right back to normal. Right back to normal. And guess what you doing? You way up in the hills somewhere. How can you live with yourself like that? And that's why some people, you can hear it in some people's messages, they feel the obligation to at least inform or try to deliver the minds of the people because it's their conscience eating them up because you know you ain't really delivering nobody. And you know too much not to be. And that's what it is. Yeah, you taking me seriously now. It's a little too late. That's what's wrong in this country anyway. It takes 1 million years for people to take the black man seriously. Even his own people don't take him seriously. Well, I mean, look at your families. Look, some people can get, you can't even get respect from your own family. Look how America is. You just now getting respect from your family. So you don't think you're going to lack respect from your own community? Yes. They don't take you seriously until it's too late. They don't take God seriously. If they don't take God seriously, you think they're going to take you seriously? They think God playing with them, don't they? Okay. Okay, you keep rocking on with your bad self. God ain't playing with nobody, man. God ain't playing with nobody. See, The truth is, most Christians are still connected to the culture. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You say you're a Christian, but you still connected to everything in the culture. How are you going to get free? It's not the means of setting us free. Okay, if the culture was going to set us free, what is it supposed to do then? It's not setting us free. It's only taking your money. That's all it's doing. Influencing you to do things that's not even spiritual. So to me, what do I get from it? That's why you can't deceive me. You can't deceive me. I'm a very educated man. I know that culture, no matter how glamorous and glitzy it is and how it looks like it's black, it's not. Okay? If it was black, it would be preserving, not entertaining black lives. It entertains people. That's all it does. It is not designed to preserve black people. Okay, so where's the system that preserves us then? There is not one. You have no leaders preserving you. Who's preserving you? Who has the thought mentality to preserve you? No one. No one's preserving you. Who's preserving you then? No one. That's what I'm trying to show you. That's what I'm trying to show you. So out of desperation to connect with blackness, you just give in to the culture, don't you? I understand. I understand. It doesn't mean I agree with you. I don't agree with you, but I do get it because out of desperation to connect to nature, to your people, you just put on something black. I just added something black. Leave it there. On TV, you flipping channels. Oh, that's something black. Leave it right there. Leave it right there. If your kids come in the room and change the TV, you too lazy to get up. Come in and change this TV. Yeah, leave it right there. That's one of my pictures. Leave it right there. And all you cared about, it was black people on there. Because you're trying to connect and trying to stay connected, and you do not want to accept that it's going to get cold in this war. And guess what? I might not be able to always look at black faces on TV all the time. I might not, because listen, the war the war is turned up. You think the devil ain't gonna be like, well, I know the devil is smart, man. Listen, one thing you can't call the devil is stupid. He is not stupid. He might be evil, he might be a bastard, but he is not stupid. You know you got to connect to your people. You know you got to see a black face to feel normal. You got to listen to some black music. You got to see some black. You got to have some black. Oh, Satan comes down to all of that. Oh yeah, you got to have some black. Come on. You can't watch them white folks all day, man. That's going to drive you crazy. Not if I got the Spirit of God. You got to come to this. You ain't got nowhere else. What other black stuff you going to look at? There ain't no black Christian stuff on TV worth nothing. That's the truth. You ain't got no you ain't got no real good black music that's Christian. Not really. They defeated, black hip hop, that ain't really, you can listen to it for your personal entertainment, but they ain't really no, you know what I'm saying? You got talented black Christian rappers out there all across the country. Are they on? That's what Satan will tell you. Ain't none of them on, are they? Ain't none of them on, are they? That's what I'm talking about. Because he gonna shut it down. Don't you get it? Oh, you thought it was just because you couldn't get on. It didn't catch. No, you know what it is? You know what it was? It was the satanic kingdom, and you didn't even realize that, did you? Yeah. That's why you didn't get your break. Because that's a whole satanic kingdom out there. You don't even want to accept it, do you? That's why you didn't get your break. And that's why I ain't worried about it. I used to do spiritual rap too. When you realize the satanic kingdom is real and he ain't trying to let that go out there like that. Listen, when you realize that, you just stay in your spiritual lane and you don't even worry about it. You don't even worry about it. Where can you go to get spiritual, wholesome food for your soul? Ain't nowhere to go. The satanic kingdom, Satan gonna come to you
You know you gotta watch something black. What you tripping off of, man? You know, I know you spiritual, but you know, you gotta watch something black, man. Come on, man. You ain't gonna feel right. And he got you like that now. You don't hear certain sonics, you don't hear certain rap songs or certain black, you don't see certain black actors, and you don't feel right, do you? See, you don't think the Satanic Kingdom got nothing to do with that, do you? Man, Satan is crafty, man. He make it all look good. But the way he's leading you with the culture, it's not to heaven. You're not going to heaven with that kind of, with the things that are practiced in the black culture. And that's what you got to understand. And see, so that's where it's at. But you can't tell people on the outside, Hispanics and Latino, that, hey, yeah, that's good. Rap music. Yeah, that's good. A little hip hop. Yeah, that's nice. And that's how they've been treating us. White people, Hispanics and Latinos, entertainers, treating you like entertainers, encouraging your foolishness. Encouraging your foolishness. And you think they connecting to you, and if you were smart enough, you would realize you ain't even connected to me, because if you was, you would be connected to the righteous. You outside of this, why you gonna dive into it? Which makes you look even more corny. You should step back and take a look back and say, well, you know what? I don't think we should be a part of that. I think we should try to help them, try to show them, people on the outside, they can see things better. I know you see it better. Boom. But you still dive in, don't you? So you just as much of a part as the problem. You dive in these politics, don't you? You dive in these street politics you shouldn't be diving in, don't you? You just as much of a part as the problem itself. You adding to the problem, in other words. Okay? That's what you got to understand. Education can keep you alive. Someone that's educated can get you killed. Well, if I'm more valuable and I'm telling the truth,